been extended for the year by the National Lottery. In 2019, East Lindsey became the first district council in the country to join the UK network of age-friendly communities. We are preparing to submit an application to the World Health Organization to become a member of the global network of age-friendly communities. The process of becoming age-friendly begins with a self-assessment described as a baseline assessment. This is based on the 8 domains of age-friendly, covering things such as housing, community support and health services, outdoor spaces and buildings, social participation, respect and social inclusion, civic participation and employment, communication and information, and transportation. The findings and the process of the assessment are detailed in the report. Thanks must go to Jane Burney, our age-friendly principal officer, for all her work in this process. So just to the recommendations, Mr. Chairman, that members note the content of the baseline assessment and findings, that 2, the responsibilities delegated to the Assistant Director for Housing and Wellbeing in conjunction with the portfolio holder for better ageing to develop a delivery plan and associated communications plan to address the challenges outlined in the baseline assessment. And 3, that a progress update is provided to Exec Board in 6 months' time, that's December of this year, and then at 6 monthly intervals thereafter. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councillor Gray. Any comments from colleagues? I think this represents a great deal of work for this authority in working in partnership with others, and I think it's a culmination of something that's very positive that keeps going forward. I'm certainly very pleased to see it. So we have a proposer. Can I have a seconder for the paper? Councillor Marsh, thank you. Any comments? Okay, on the basis of no comments, we'll go to the vote. So can we have a show of hands to accept that report? And that's unanimous. Thank you very much. Councillor Gray, you're busy tonight. Item number 6 now, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This follows on nicely from the previous report, and this is just telling us a bit more about the application to the World Health Organization to become an age-friendly community. As a district, we have been explicit in our commitment to support people to live and age well, as I've just said on the last item. The Council has extensive evidence, as detailed in the report, to prove our commitment to support people to live and age well, and this is detailed on pages 62 and 64 of the report. Membership of the network is a commitment to listen to the needs of our ageing population, to assess and monitor the age friendliness of the area, and to work in collaboration with older people and across the sector to create an age-friendly physical and social environment. Therefore, I recommend to members that members agree for East Lindsey to submit an evidence-based application to join the World Health Organization global network of age-friendly communities. And it is actually a requirement of the application that the leader of the council provides a letter to confirm that the Executive Board supports and commits to this. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I think on the basis of all the work that we're doing, and also the fact that we are dealing with an ageing population and going into the future, I think it's very important that we do sign up to this. So I would be fully supportive to sign such a letter or endorse such a letter. Any comments from colleagues, please? Councillor Kirk, thank you.
Yeah, could I ask a question of Councillor Gray, please? If we sign up to this, and I don't see why we wouldn't, but what are the benefits for the residents of East Lindsey of us doing this as a council?
Councillor Gray, thank you.
Councillor, thank you, Councillor Kirk. It really is just affirmation of our commitment to create an environment where older people are valued and respected, and we have a commitment to listen to their needs as an ageing population, and we will monitor their needs and make sure that those needs are firmly embedded into the foundation of all the work and the excellent work that this council does.
Thank you. Councillor Kirk, I think just adding to that, it's been an ambition of this council, this administration, that we do as much as we can for our ageing residents, and I think that affirmation is important, but I do understand why you would ask the question.
Yeah, well, the answer I got was exactly what I was hoping to hear, so that's perfect. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you.
Thank you.
So we have a proposer. Councillor Marsh, did you want to second that? Yeah, thank you. So, board members, are we content to support that? Could I have a show of hands, please? Excellent, thank you. And if a letter could be drafted, and I'll happily sign that.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. So now we move on to items to be recommended by the council, which is none, and non-key decisions. So it's now agenda item 8, which is appointment to outside bodies within the remit of the executive board, and that report is on page 151. You have the report before you, or the recommendations before you, and the recommendations are that representatives be identified and appointed for the 2021-22 municipal year to the various outside bodies detailed in Appendix A to the report presented, and that should any further outside body appointments within the remit of the executive board be required during the year, that such decisions be delegated to the chairman of the executive board. So the recommendations are before you. Are we content that those go forward as the named people on the outside bodies?
If I may, Mr. Chair, on the community links nomination, can I just suggest we defer that for the time being while we seek some clarity from YMCA on their requirements? Community links is now part of YMCA, so we just need to seek some clarity in terms of that nomination.
Okay, thank you. I did hear another comment that was. Yep, of course.
Howard.
Yeah, Councillor Howard, thank you.
Yes, there are 2 vacancies that I'd like to suggest a couple of people for. Firstly, Gibraltar Point Nature Reserve. I'd like to suggest Councillor Smith for that, and for the Mablethorpe Playing Fields, Councillor Newman. If those could be considered tonight as well, I'd be very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Howard. Any comments or objection to that? Councillor Marsh.
Where does Councillor Smith represent?
Councillor Smith's a Louth member, I believe. Sorry, not Louth.
No, along the coast.
Yeah. Okay, I'm quite content to go with that.
I'm happy if he represented it, because it is there. I've been on that board before, and sometimes people get on it.
Oh, it is, yeah. Sorry.
Some people get on it who don't live in that area, have got no real understanding and knowledge and no interest. So it's important that the people that we put on there actually live and involved with that area, so they can have a positive income, not just turn up for a meeting, have a coffee and go out.
Okay, I think that's a fair point, Councillor Howard, in terms of interest and dedication to the role. But I would imagine Councillor Smith would fully partake.
We've had that conversation, yes.
Okay, thank you. So if there's no objection from the board, we'll happily support that. Thank you. Thanks, Councillor Howard. Any other comments on the basis of what's before you with Councillor Howard's additions? We'll support that. Okay, so a show of hands, just thank you. Great stuff. Thank you for that. We now move to.
Thank you,
Councillor Howard. We now move to an exempt information, agenda item 9. So I think we need to consider listening to this in exempt session to consider excluding the public and press. I propose that we do go into private session. Thank you. So can I have a show of hands